Hi there. If you're using Estimation 180 with your students and your classes, first I want to say thanks. And you'll notice here on the website there's a form here where students can fill in their estimates and their reasoning, which is great, but I feel like as a teacher I would kind of want to have that information to myself. And so what I'm going to do is spend 3 little screencasts here showing you some suggestions on how to create a form and how to use it and use the data maybe effectively. So first part is going to be just going through the form itself and the one I've created. The nice thing about this is, as a teacher, if I create this form once, I have this form forever, and that's the only file I'll need, and I can just go in and tweak it as I go from day to day. The second thing we'll do in part 2 will be going through how did I make the form itself. And the third part will be, what do you do with all that data and how can you organize it in a meaningful way, especially if you're a secondary teacher and you have multiple periods here that you teach. So let's first start with the form. I've got my title and my question up at the top. What will be the value of this finished cent sign? So I have a picture from the website. I would love my students to enter their name, preferably first and last here. Choose a period that they are in, and go down here and give me an estimate that's too low. What I like about this is I set this up so that the answer is in cents, and if they go below a certain number, I'm encouraging them to be braver than that. So I can count, there's about 20 pennies already in the picture, so I'm going to put 20 in there. That's too low. And then what's too high here? Well, I don't know, like it might be 100, it might be 500. I'm going to say like 500 is too high. But like if I've got a kid that wants to fool around here, like 5 something illion there. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I put a parameter in there as well where, let's be braver than 500,000 billion, whatever that is. I don't want to count the zeros. So I'm going to put 500. I like that. Now my estimate in cents here, I'm going to go with 125 pennies here, 125 cents. And now why? Why did I go with that? Let me go back here. You'll notice if I roll the mouse over the field, it kind of tells me, is this number within my range? There it is. And that's nice to know. Yeah, this is between 20 and 500. Okay, so why did I do that? Here's my reasoning. It says, do better than I guessed. I just get tired of kids saying I guessed. You know what? Let's use our skills. What did we notice here? So I'm giving my students a sentence starter here. And I want them to type in, I noticed. Well, what did you notice? So I noticed there are about, and I'm going to type in my reasoning here and not waste time. And I'll tell you what it is here in a second. So my reasoning here was, I noticed there's about 25 pennies up at the top, and it looks to be about a fifth complete. So I went 5 times 25. Fun. I'm going to press submit here, and I set the form up so once they submit, I mean, you could do this, you don't have to do this, but you could visit the actual web page here, put a link in here, and to find out the answer. And when I do that, it'll take you to Estimation 180, and you could watch the video of the actual amount of pennies in that finished cent sign. Okay? All right, that's the form. Let's see in part 2, how did I make this form and set up those parameters within all the fields and everything. All right.